Insomniac has many years of Marvel games ahead of them, and I have mixed feelings about that. Let's talk about it. Hello there everybody, and welcome to The Comfy Spot. My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be talking about this new bit of news that we got today regarding the future of Insomniac Games and their collaboration with Marvel in the coming years. This news comes to us by way of a GameInformer interview that was written up and done by editor-in-chief over there at GameInformer, Matt Miller, and he interviewed the general manager over at Marvel Games, who is his name is Haluk Mendez. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, sir. If I did not, I greatly apologize. But in this interview, Matt from GameInformer, he was interviewing Haluk and really just asking him a lot of questions just about the broad spectrum of Marvel games, the Marvel games business, and then, also directed some questions about some very specific games. So they asked about Deadpool VR, they asked about Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and they also asked specifically about Marvel Tokon, the new fighting game that's coming out as well next year. So it was an interesting conversation that they had, but our conversation today that we're going to have here at the Comfy Spot is about specifically the final question and their last bit of their answer for this final question that they asked in this interview. Now, at the end of the interview for the final question, Matt asked Haluk, he says here, quote, "Given the breadth of announced projects on the way for Marvel Games in the coming months and years, can you share anything about the philosophy guiding Marvel Games in the interactive games space? What factors help to inform whether you want to move forward on a project?" And in response to this question, Haluk I'm not going to read his full answer here, but Haluk, he started off by talking about, just the portfolio that Marvel Games has built up over the years, and how they want to, whenever they go into a project or whenever they're thinking about things, they don't want to necessarily have any regrets years down the line about, man, we wish we did this or we wish we did that. And Haluk also talks about how for Marvel Games they feel a big responsibility because of just how the years behind the Marvel brand, how strong the Marvel brand is, what that brand means, and what it means for this generation and future generations that have driven the brand for as long as it's been going on. So that's another part of his answer, but we're going to be talking specifically about the very final part of his answer. I'm going to read it in full because this is where our topic for today is coming from. So Haluk's answer to the question, or the final part of his answer to the question, is, quote, "We also actively seek collaborators that want to take on the same mantle. As is usually the case, once we complete a project together, they too become Marvel. Marvel's Wolverine with our dear friends at Insomniac Games is perhaps the epitome of this philosophy. We've been working together for more than a decade and developed such a shorthand across multiple Marvel Spider-Man games that when the time finally came to bring Logan back in spectacular and visceral fashion, it was obvious to everyone on our team that Insomniac was the perfect choice. It was our shared culture and values that brought us together, and we're so proud to continue collaborating for many years to come," end quote. Now, if you want to read the full interview, I will have a link to it down in the description below because it is a good interview. But this last part here, talking about their collaboration with Insomniac Games and how they are proud to continue collaborating with them for many years to come. It has me a bit concerned, but also excited for the future of what this means. When you think about it, I love the Marvel Spider-Man games, all three of them. They are excellent games. I loved Marvel Spider-Man 2. I know it has many detractors, but I stand by it. It is an amazing game. I love it more than I did the first one. Might be a bit biased because Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, but neither here nor there. I've enjoyed their games, and I have been looking forward to Marvel's Wolverine ever since it was first announced, and this recent gameplay trailer we got a few months ago was super cool. It was really awesome back in September when we got that first look at actual gameplay for it. But as I spoke about last year in 2024, I put out this video talking about how PlayStation needs new ideas, how their studios need to be putting out new IPs instead of just relying on old IPs or just licensed or just recurring franchises that have been going on for a while. mostly because of just, how long game development takes. And nowadays, if you plan on just sticking with one series, that can take a good 10 years in game development time, or longer, depending on how many games you're trying to make in that series, how ambitious the games are and all. And for Insomniac, we've been in the we've been in the Marvel space, really, for quite a while now. Marvel Spider-Man, the first one came out in 2018. Miles Morales came out in 2020. We did get Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, excellent game. We got that in 2021. And then after that, we got Marvel Spider-Man 2 in 2023. Marvel's Wolverine is coming next year, 2026, as of right now. And I would hate to see Insomniac just kind of be relegated to being the Marvel superhero game studio now. Like, I love the Ratchet & Clank series. It is an amazing series. It's a classic IP from PlayStation's history. It is the last of the PlayStation 2, first-party platformer mascot characters that's still kicking. Jack is gone, Sly is gone, Ratchet is still hanging in there. I would love to get more Ratchet & Clank from Insomniac, or even a brand new IP. I would hate to see Insomniac be tied down to just Marvel games for the next decade plus. That's not to say that I'm not excited for Marvel's Wolverine or the next Spider-Man game, because come on now, we know a Spider-Man 3 is going to be happening. That's not to say that I'm not excited for those games. That's not to say I don't want those games, that I'm not going to be there on day one or super hyped for them when they get officially announced and revealed. I'm going to be over the moon playing those games. I'm so certain of it. And, there were rumors around the time of the Insomniac hack, and then those rumors got brought to the surface again earlier this year, a couple months ago, that Insomniac was working on a Venom spin-off game. So, that would also be cool, but again, I would hate for Insomniac to just not be able to do their own thing anymore, to be stuck making Marvel games for another 5, close to 10 years. If we were just getting Marvel's Wolverine, and then Marvel's Venom, and then another Marvel, and then Marvel Spider-Man 3, and then maybe a Wolverine 2 or an X-Men game, that would, as cool as those games would be, Insomniac is a very talented studio, and they've been doing some great work with these Marvel games that they've been making. As great as I'm sure those titles would be, where we need something different from them. I would want them to be able to, do something fresh, get more creative, stretch their legs, just be able to inhabit a completely different universe, bring back Ratchet again, or give us something completely new. That is what I would love to see from Insomniac. I don't want them to be stuck in this, I'm going to call it a creative rut, and that's not to say that they would feel like it's a creative rut, but I would hate to see them just pigeonholed into being the superhero studio, the Marvel's superhero studio specifically at PlayStation, but just because of how well they've been doing things and Sony's relationship with Marvel, that would be just the worst, in my opinion. We would be way worse off if that was the case, if we did not get another fun, charming, hilarious Ratchet & Clank game from Insomniac with really wacky weapons and just, a funny story, interesting characters, cool weapon design. I would hate if we did not get something like that from them, or something else that was totally different. It was in the PS3 generation when they tried to do something totally out of their ballpark with with Fuse, and then that started one way, that it got really generified because of EA and all, and lost all its personality and charm that it had. The game ended up not being all that great. And then in the PS4, Xbox One generation, they kicked off that generation with Sunset Overdrive for Xbox, which was, I've yet to play it, but everyone swears up and down by that game and would love to see more of it. And I would love to see them, maybe return to that idea too, if they were able to. So these are the things that we are able to get when studios are able to stretch their legs and go outside of their normal wheelhouse and do different things and not just be stuck in one pigeonhole. again, that is not to say that I do not want these Marvel games or would not want to see other Marvel games from Insomniac. I would love to see them and love to play them, but at the same time, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance between, you know, I guess, again, for a lack of better word, there needs to be a balance between the game to pay the bills and the game for me. You know, the game that is meant for them to pay the bills, the game that they're doing for all of us so they can make their money, and then the game that's more of like their own creative expression, creative freedom. They're almost like, hey, one for you, one for us. And I would love to see that from them. So tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me what you guys think. Maybe you all don't care and you just want a bunch of more Marvel games from them. Maybe you all just want, yes, give me Wolverine and Spider-Man and Venom and X-Men and I don't know, whatever other Marvel characters you could think of. Give me all the superhero teams. Give me all the superhero characters from Insomniac Games. I don't care about Ratchet. Maybe that's where you are. And if that is where you are totally entitled to that opinion. But let me know down in the comment section below what you all think of this. Let me know if you agree with me and you kind of don't necessarily like the idea of Insomniac just having many more years of Marvel game collaborations ahead of them. Let me know all your thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. It's a short video, just a quick conversation, quick rant type of video here. Just wanted to get these thoughts off my chest, out of my head, because I saw this article earlier, I read it earlier, I read the interview, and I was like, I got some thoughts on this, wanted to share them. So either way, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell, that way you know as soon as new videos go live. My name is Tyler, this has been The Comfy Spot, we'll talk next time. Have a good one.